What's up to the hat space? I don't know if I'm getting a signal or not on here. I'm sitting outside. Just needed some sunshine. Some days you just need sunshine. And today was one of those days. So if the signal is jacked up, I probably won't stay long. No, I don't want to do that. I guess you get close enough to the Wi-Fi and I ask you if you want to do it. Okay, I'll do that. But yeah, it's Friday, and I needed sun today. My energy had been somewhat zapped earlier, and I needed some sun. So that's crazy. These notifications are like hit or miss. Did you have to unsubscribe and subscribe free? And how is the stream right now? Is the stream good right now? Or am I pixelated? I guess there is a quicker way to get a Starbucks drink. What's up, cuz? Oh, good. So it sounds pretty decent. I mean, I know being outside, you're going to hear cars and people walking by. But yeah, I just needed. I thought there was actually more sun on this side, but I'm still half shaded, so it doesn't really matter. But turning to the 2 years she's been on this planet, I can honestly say for most of the 2 years, her system has been somewhat compromised with a real congested cough, and we've worked diligently to try to get rid of it. Ray has done a great job with the uh, vaporizers and nebulizers and treatment, and she always makes sure she does everything to keep that stuff loose and moving out of there. And she's been clear for a couple months, but now it seems like it's coming back. um, they don't really want to do anything. I don't like today's medicine. I don't like today's medical practices. Okay, it says I'm buffering. You said I'm buffering. You did surprise me last night. I was not expecting you to be in town or for you to even have those things done. To be honest with you, I figured life had just happened and you had to put it on hold. I had no idea that you'd be bringing those. And um, after I get done here, I've got to go do some work and move some things around so I can get that stuff out of the way so I can really actually move my space around and see if I want to get these things up on the wall as soon as I can. Um, that brought me great energy last night, where this morning I felt like my energy was zapped. That was something that gave me energy. You sitting there kicking it with you and Ray and just laughing. we always have good conversations, you, I, and Ray, and so pixelated, and you are buffering. Okay, so maybe I'll have to. We'll give it a couple minutes and see if it levels out. Here, let me see if I'm actually on the Wi-Fi, because I may not actually be on the Wi-Fi. Let me see if I'm actually on the Wi-Fi. All right. It says I'm on the Wi-Fi now, so I don't know if the pixelating will stop. I wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi, so maybe that's why. Let's see if it goes better. I need to know in about 2 or 3 minutes. I don't want to be sitting here pixelating if it's not going through. So, um, as I had stated, it's Kai's birthday, and it's a great thing. So that gave me great energy, but was somewhat zapped, just kind of seeing how the morning was unfolding and things like that, and I wasn't really impressed. Missy B, how you doing today? So yeah, maybe the Wi-Fi is kicked in. Um, Sitting outside, Missy B. I don't normally sit outside a lot when I do lives. Um, Maybe it's something I need to work towards. I don't know. I like outside. I just don't fuck with bugs, and I don't like to get too hot. Um, but I needed the sunshine. They said the sunshine that brings vitamin D. I needed the vitamin D. I just can't use my milk in my coffee because that's coconut milk anyway. So I don't even know if that has vitamin D in it. You need real vitamin D. You need sunshine. It's like kids need sunshine. Kids need to be outside. They need that energy. So now it's pausing. So, I want to find out every way that I can stream efficiently because, as you saw, what I'm a part of yesterday, because we are in a situation where I am going to be transitional, and I won't just be on this platform for this platform. I will be on multiple platforms. And when you have multiple platforms, there's multiple levels. So I need to be able to be recording long, short, whatever clips, and they need to be decent. So I need to know where my strong points are. So mosquitoes are the new Crips and Bloods. I don't even understand these mosquitoes here. They're the new Crips and Bloods. They literally are throwing up signs when you walk outside. And there's another kind of bug. It's not a mosquito, but it's biting too. Um, and then don't let fireflies get, not fireflies, with it, fruit flies. Don't let them motherfuckers get to the end of their living cycle because they have blood in them. I've splatted a couple of fruit flies and they were like mosquitoes and shit. Bugs are horrible. And one guy had a theory about the bugs being out here like this was because people weren't out doing the repellents and all that stuff because of the pandemic. And my situation was like, I couldn't really argue. But yeah, if they don't drop all that shit to get rid of the bugs and do different stuff, bugs are just going to be worse. But they're out here. I mean, they're literally the new fucking gang. What do they say? Gang gang. Bugs are gang gang. They're bug. And yeah, I don't fuck with bugs. You know, flies and all that shit. I don't like any of that shit. I kill anything that flies. Anything that flies and is not supposed to be around, I kill it. I have no problem with that. Um, you can spray for things and do different things like that, but no, if you're in my space, you're getting killed. I don't deal with that. Plus, I'm around too much shit that flies and stuff can't be around. So yeah, outdoors is very nice. Outdoors is very nice. So, but yeah, I decided I'd come out and just get a little zap up a little outside energy. You know, um, feeling pretty good. You know, just long days, long nights. Um, I get tired. I lay down. I sleep. I wake up. I do my thing. I do whatever I need to do to get through the course of the days. Um, but when something affects my energy, I have to think about it. Like when something zaps my energy, and nothing zaps my energy more than underperforming individuals. When you are underperforming, you are a problem, especially in the grand scheme of things. When you've got other people that are involved, other individuals that are involved, other entities that are involved, and you are underperforming, your underperformance does not just affect you and your results, it affects everybody else's results. And that's a problem. That's a problem where if you don't do something and get it right, here comes a problem for someone else because you came up short. Here comes a problem for someone else because you came up short. And eventually you end up screwing up the whole infrastructure of what you're dealing with. And if you move around a lot, and hopefully this is all coming through clear, this is valuable information. So I don't like to spit content and not have it come through clearly. You know, I used to feel like, oh man, it's not so much that I'm saying something that's so fucking important, but I am saying something that's important because if I'm saying it, there's a reason I'm saying it. And it's got to have a level of importance to it. So I'm tooting my own horn in that. If I'm saying this shit, it means something and it can affect people. So I don't like to say things when people can't hear them. So hopefully this stream is coming through clearly and you're hearing me about underperforming. But I don't deal well with underperforming individuals. When you have underperforming individuals, you're dealing with a situation of selfishness a lot of times. Because, okay, so there's a difference between underperforming and not performing well. See, when you don't perform well, it can come it can come from a lot of things, but a lot of times it comes from because you don't have the skills to perform well. And when you have the skills to perform well and you don't perform well, now you're underperforming. And when you're underperforming, now you're directly affecting everybody negatively, just like you affect everybody positively when you perform well. And when I deal with people that don't perform well, I have to see what they're capable of. If their capabilities are there for them to perform well and they don't perform well, that means they're underperforming. That means they're being selfish. That means they're a problem. Sister Kyra, how you doing? Y'all gotta always understand, I call everybody sister and call everybody brother because if you in here, you family, you know. Every now and then, somebody will dip in, and I don't call them brother, don't call them sister, and because I know they just lurking. I know who they are because I know they done said some slick shit behind my back. I just don't say nothing to them. Now, don't be trying to figure out who that is because every now and then somebody will dip in, and I don't say brother or sister, but every now and they know and because they know they're not really here. They really trying to check on, see what I'm doing, you know. But I needed them motherfuckers to check on me how I was doing from 2009 to 2014, and nobody checked on me then. So don't check on me now, motherfucker. Don't check on me now. I made it through all them storms. I made it through the blizzards, man. And now, what I'm doing now, I mean, the weather still changes, but when a storm comes, I know how to navigate around it. I know how to navigate around it. And sometimes I actually have to navigate through it. But, for the most part, I get around the storm. I ain't got no time to be going through no storm. I got too much shit that I got going to go through a storm. And I come up short a lot just for the fact that I go through this shit a lot of times by myself. I mean, Ray, she's the rider. She gonna be there. I get it. But some things she can't go through. As a man, she can't go through some things that I go through. And she ain't meant to. Any man that wants to drag his woman into some shit every motherfucking time he goes through some shit, he ain't a man. There's nothing wrong with being a team. You definitely can be a team. I love men, women when they're teams, when they're partners in business and different things like that. I love that shit. But everything isn't meant for y'all to go through together. Sometimes she got to lay back in the cut, take care of the nest, and you get out there and fight those fucking battles. There's certain shit that she don't even fucking know sometimes, and she be like, "I didn't even know that. You're not supposed to know that. You're not supposed to know that." I appreciate you, Missy B. My energy is what it is. It is what, and I feel better just sitting there. And I'm really not. I'm only getting about half of the leg. I'm only getting about half of my leg, maybe half of my left arm, getting some energy. But I really want it to be kind of sitting in the sun, but still catching a little shade. So I keep the device out of the sun, so it don't get all hot and shit. And because then it does that, it starts scrambling and shit. It starts scrambling like you're watching a channel that you ain't supposed to be watching or you didn't pay for. I don't need that. One time my phone shut off and said, "Phone is too hot." I'm like, wow, I didn't even know they could do that. Smartphone is a smartphone. It knows when it gets too hot, gets overheated. So your phone knows sometimes more than a person knows, you know, man. So, oh man. Sorry. People are starting to say happy birthday. Oh, just left a great post about Lulu. I would put it up, but it's got a picture of her in her bikini, not Lulu, but and I don't want no pervs and shit looking at that, focusing on that, not focusing on, you know, the baby. My kids put pictures in there, and I don't really like the exact picture. Like, they just showing some skin that, hey, it is what it is. I really don't like people be looking at all that. I know that they do things, they grown, they gonna do what they got to do. But if I can keep you from looking at it, you gonna keep from looking at it. Anonymous Facebook user, and they calling me Shan, so they must know me because everybody know they can't call me Shan. So I don't know exactly who that is. I'm Melissa Smith from. Oh, you Melissa Smith on Habs. Okay, okay. I got it. I got it. Now, are you on IG as Melissa Smith? I think there was a Melissa. Somebody just requested or started following me on IG. Either way. But hopefully y'all get what I'm saying with that energy thing. You know, the energy thing gets me fucked up because when I have to deal with people the way I have to deal with people, my attitude is not always perfect, not even close. And frankly, my attitude is probably fucked up more times than it's not. But when I have to deal with people, I have to be more like a chameleon like spirit. Oh, that was Brock. Okay. What's up, brother Brock? Saw you and the missus, Paisley Park, y'all chilling in Minneapolis, old home spot, hanging out there on Lake Minnetonka, purifying yourselves. Um, Shelly Shell, what's happening? How you doing? Buy her a burqa. What is a burqa? I don't know what a burqa is. What is a burqa? What is a burqa? Getting bit by fish? You in the water? Muslim women wear them, covering that doesn't show any skin. I don't think Olivia would do that. I don't think Olivia would do that. She likes to show her body when she, and they stay at the swimming pool and they at the, they're on the beach or whatever they was at. So I expect her to have that on. I just particularly didn't want, you know. Nah, I get what you're saying, but no, she ain't gonna wear that. Uh-oh. How come people don't see people? Maybe they didn't have rear park assist. This truck just start backing up right into this lady. I'm like, what's going on here? I would have definitely been on her side. We have to protest our energy. Black tourmaline is good for protecting energy. Now, is that stones? Black tourmaline, is that stones? Because I got some protection. I got some protection, and I need some more. So I need to, I need to get with that. I'm like that with all the babies, grandbabies. Caleb, I don't much mind. He just wear a beater. He'll take his shirt off every now and then, but we just have such a ridiculous environment nowadays where people, they're not normal. Like, you can't just look at a person and just look away. You see people like just gawking at people and shit. And when they do that shit to kids, I get freaked out. And the babies are 25, 25, and 24. So when I say the babies, the grandbabies, yeah, they're babies. But I don't even like nobody looking at my daughters. Shit. Shit, Jen's in her 40s. I don't like nobody looking at her. She just got engaged. Congratulations, Genji. Genji's gonna be getting married. Y'all know I got two biologicals and I got five, six, I don't know, seven blended. I don't know. I lose count. Because when you don't personally have them, you can lose count, but I know exactly who they are. I know when their birthdays are. I know all that shit. I just don't know how many it is. Maybe I'll end up having another one. I don't know. I'm a biological father of two, but I played daddy for so many years, for so many different ones. I don't even care what the number is. If you need me, I'm gonna be there, and we're gonna fuck some shit up. That's the way life is. Appreciate y'all saying happy birthday to my baby. She's sitting in that clothes basket. I remember when she could sit in that clothes basket and couldn't get out. That was the funny thing. Now she can throw that basket. She literally throws things. So she's so smart, though. Ray has done such an incredible job with her, getting her together with her words, with her manners, eating. I mean, when y'all see me do grits and grooves and feeding her and different things like that, that's the cherry on top. That's the cherry on top to what Ray has done. She's played such an integral part of her life, of her development so early. And it was really hurting us when she couldn't like do a lot of this stuff because she was sick. Her body wasn't filling up to it. And you figured 18 to 20 pounds something. She's affected by a cough. Like, her whole body would just shudder when she would cough, or when she would cough in the middle of the night. And we'd both be out. I'm falling asleep in the TV room 90% of the time. Ray's in the bedroom. We would meet like right on the landing, like, And it would be crazy because that cough would wake us up and startle us, and it upset us so much. So now I'm glad that a lot of that is there. Oh, you're an only child, Missy B. Okay. So now see, I've heard different. See, I always thought that only children were spoiled, but I heard that sometimes when you're an only child, you don't get the spoiling. You don't always get the spoiling. Um, Sometimes you do, but sometimes they press you more. So were you pressed as an only child, or were you spoiled because you were a baby, because you're the only baby? Johnny Mason makes bracelets. I don't know who Johnny Mason is. Where's Johnny Mason at? Where is Johnny Mason at? I generally get my stuff from a couple ladies in Detroit who they broke down all the stones to me. That's really where when I got into wearing stones. I used to wear, stones back in the day, just like on a necklace or whatever, and it'd be like one stone, and they tell me what it is, and I get it. And I got out of it for a while, and now I'm getting back into it. And I really don't like to leave home without them. I like the way they sound. I like, it all matters to me. Johnny grew up in Ann Arbor. He is my age. He lives in Southfield. Okay, is he on social media? Maybe I can link up with him. You know, long as he ain't on no slicker shit, I'm good with him. As long as I don't want to deal with nobody that's slick no more. Anybody that's trying to talk slick to me, I'm gonna call them out. I won't do business with them. I'm gonna call them out, and I'm gonna make sure people that I fuck with don't do business with them anymore. We either gonna move forward amicably, or we not gonna move forward together at all. And I want to help press your fucking business. That's the way life is gonna be from this point on. I am out here. Some badass little kids out here earlier today. I mean, I never rolled up to a motherfucking Starbucks and shit where kids were hanging out and shit. One kid was drinking something, and one kid was going in and out of a place over here. Oh, you little bad motherfuckers, and it takes a lot for me to say a kid is bad. Uh, you know, my father did spoil me, but he put value in me. I had to earn what I wanted. See, I like that. I like that. I like that. He spoiled you, but he put value in you. And I really tried to work from that type of concentrated area too. You know, I tried to give my daughters everything that I could, but it's a lot of shit that they just didn't necessarily need. But I figured, what else was I gonna do? I but I also tried to put value behind it. And for the most part, I think I did pretty good doing that. The messages weren't always embedded, and I also don't think I had the same type of support from the other side. See, raising a child, you need both parents to be equally yoked. I was using this term a couple of days ago with a friend of mine. Equally yoked. You got to be equally yoked. You're not always going to agree as parents, but you got to be equally yoked. So it is what it is. But when you stray away from your parent, then that other parent's supposed to bring you back in. And when that other parent brings you back in, then you're supposed to go back to that parent. And now you should understand what that first parent was trying to say. If everything is morally correct and everything is being said the right way, you might not grab it. So that other parent grabs it and says, look, you need to be listening. But see, if you're not equally yoked and you're not getting that support from the other parent, that's an issue. That's an issue. So I got a problem with people that try to raise children individually too. When you try to raise a child your way and then the other parent tries to raise them their way, the child loses. If you're both not on the same moral ground and you're teaching the child the same way, even if you're separated. And a lot of times most times this doesn't happen when the parents are together. But this happens when you got two different parents and there's two different homes and there's two different, mind states, and they don't think that they should be raising the child the same way. Well, what do you think you're doing to a child? You got your ideology. That child has his ideology. The other parent has their ideology, and all of a sudden, y'all trying to do all three of your things. You got three different people. If you're not in sync, you got confusion from the get. So the two parents get in sync. The child has nothing to do with this. They're the baby. They're a child. They have nothing to do with this. Their opinion will matter and their ideology will matter, but you have to lay the groundwork, you lay the foundation. You just give a child the opportunity or the ability to have their opinion and they don't understand the basis of what you're going through, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. I'm missing a couple chats here. Hold on one second. I Got You Relaxed by Jay Mace. I'll try to check that out a little bit later, Shell. My husband had to meet my father's standards. Absolutely. Absolutely. And some of the things, that I would tell my daughters, because I always try to open the door for my daughters when they were younger. Hell, I don't even open the door for Ray all the time now. But I tried to open the door for my daughters when they were younger so they would understand that if a motherfucker can't open the door for you, he's taking you somewhere. And it's just going to be in your younger years, because he's trying to get something. If a motherfucker's trying to take you somewhere, chances are he's trying to get something. Now, I don't like to think about all the graphic shit, okay? But I know as a man, as a predatory spirit, if I was taking a young lady out back in the day, I would do all that chivalrous shit to try to get to the prize. You know, you don't keep licking a blow pop if you don't want to get to the chewing gum. You don't lick a Tootsie Roll pop if you don't want to get to the Tootsie Roll. So, who licks a Tootsie Roll pop and just throws the Tootsie Roll away? So you got to have standards. You got to have patience. There's a lot of things that you've got to have when you're out there like that. And this all goes back to underperforming. If you're not performing well, you're not going to get to that space anyway. So if your behavior, if your manners, if, is all off, you're not going to get to what you need to get to. It immediately creates discord. It immediately creates discord. The two parents are not on the same plane. It'll create discord between the two parents and the child. Then the disrespect comes because now the child is going to start siding with one parent. No child sides with both parents unless it is beneficial to them. But what's beneficial to a child if both parents are disagreeing? One parent wants to be one way, one parent wants to be another way. That child is going to generally glean to the easier side. I've seen very few children say, you know what, I'm going to side with mom here because she wants me to do more work. Or I'm going to side with dad here because he wants me to do more work. They generally side with the parent that gives them the easiest path. Most children side with the parent that gives them the easiest path. They don't side with the parent that says, you know what, this parent over here is trying to build some value, some character, and they're hard as shit to deal with, so I'm going to ride with them. Or this parent over here makes me do absolutely nothing, doesn't make me clean my room, doesn't make sure I bathe, doesn't make sure I comb my hair, doesn't make sure I do shit. I like it over here. I ain't got to do shit. My daughter chose her dad because he was easier to and was disrespectful towards me. Yeah, that's textbook. See, he's trying to be that Disney daddy. He's a stupid motherfucker. I'm sorry, but that's your baby's daddy, but he's a stupid motherfucker right there because he's trying to be that Disney daddy and he can't uphold that. He can't uphold that. See, most men out here can't be really that Disney daddy. And I'm speaking of black men. Like I said, I've never been a white man, so I can't speak from a white man's perspective. But most black men cannot be the Disney daddy, okay? Especially when you're in single daddy status. Because now you got a little bit of your money already going back to the mama, so you got a little bit of your income. This goes all the way back to generational wealth. This goes back to all the way to the shit that we lost. This goes back to why we need to be repaired and why we need reparations. But we're not going to go there right now. Where we're going to stay is on underperforming motherfuckers. Now, I have to say, Rochelle, your baby daddy is an underperforming motherfucker. I don't give a fuck what he does for Bree, but whatever he does, and I believe we're talking about Bree's father. I'm not sure. But if it is Bree's father, trying to do your own thing, you're not the custodial parent. No, he's married. Oh, okay. I got it. I got it. Okay. So, and is that the one that we've had the issues with? Because I'm not trying to get personal and stuff, but since we deep in it now, I want to bring some closure to it. Because I always like to explain. Because I have no problem with calling the motherfucker out, but I want to know the full thing. So, your child's father basically was disrespectful. Got it. So, and this is the one now that you having all of these issues with. That right there laid the groundwork for you to have the issues today. It did not present itself until he decided, you know what, I'm gonna take sides here. And I'm gonna be on my daughter's side and not be on my daughter's mother's side, because that's where he needs to be. Because she's underdeveloped, she's immature, she needs to grow, and she needs all that teaching to come from her parents. But he chose to just pull her to the side and say, I'm with you no matter how wrong you are on some shit. That's great that her stepmother is in full allegiance. That's good. Y'all can build that woman energy, because he's not going to be there. You know, he gonna be a simp on this. You know, his daughter, y'all daughter, he done simped out. So he's really kind of null and void now. You need to keep that alliance with stepmom. Hopefully they work out. She can stay, you know, on it, and then you can start to rebuild from there. Because if you don't, you have a fucked up situation that you're always going to deal with, and she's always going to glean to that side. And being grown, she thinks she knows everything too. That's another issue. So you can't really reel her back in and kind of restart. You got to go from where you are. Absolutely. Oh, the stepmom is aligned with him. Oh, then motherfuck them both. So you got a problem there. You got an issue. Motherfuck them both. She sees the wrong and she's still siding with his ass. Fuck that bum bitch. See, that's dumb. That's dumb. And we're talking about a woman. See, if we were talking about a son would see something sooner or later. He would see the simp shit, because he would see how other fathers are with their sons and with their mothers, and he would see it. But see, she's aligning with him, and also, okay, they tag team. I get it. I get it. Well, yeah, fuck her. She's on some bum shit. Because she was supposed to be able to look at this situation and be able to see it like, oh, okay, I see where we're at. I see where we're at. Connect that woman energy, and y'all get together and make sure everything is right. Yeah. So I get it. I get it. I'm not one of those people. Hold on one second. I got you together yesterday, bro, and it won't get sent out probably until I'll try today. I'll do my best today, but maybe tomorrow. Um, period. Yeah, I got to put somebody on this shit too. Just got too much going. So that's unfortunate. You know, that's unfortunate that people aren't stepping up and taking care of their responsibilities. They're underperforming. They're underperforming. Because see, here's the thing: you're underperforming. You know better, so you're directly affecting everybody. And the person who's affected the most, you know, we get in our feelings as parents, but the person who is affected the most is the child. The child's affected the most. You know, we all do. We all do. Nobody is above reproach on that. You know, if you got to see the potential in a person. You got to see the potential in a person. Sometimes you have to look past some realities to see the potential. Sometimes we stay too long. Sometimes we actually don't stay long enough. I've definitely looked at people and said, you know what? I'm glad that situation ended. I'm glad that situation didn't go any further. But on the other side, I was like, you know what? I was just about there. And some things keep you from making it to the top, and it's a relationship. It's like some toxicity, and I hate using this word because it's so overused, but the toxicity of a relationship can just keep you from making it to the top. And being anchored in a relationship is what everybody wants. You know, people be out here talking that shit. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. I don't need no woman. I don't need no man, man. Whatever. Whatever you do. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. Missy B, we love having you while you're here, and you can always catch the playback. You know that. Peace and love. Peace and love. You get back to work. I'm glad you enjoyed the outside time. I'm glad you spent it with us. You know, I'll be back on here later, Missy B. Hopefully you'll be right here in the chat with the family. Um, yeah, you can't be really bogged down on some shit and try to make it out here, you know. And everybody doesn't understand that. People think that you can just keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. And I am an energy person. I believe in good karma. I have to have all that shit moving, you know. I mean, that's why I have the stones. You know, I believe in good energy, good powers. And when I can't have that, I'm fucked up, dude. I'm fucked up out here. I don't know how people can just go through life and be all fucked up and just think that they can get through some things. Because that leads to their underperforming too. When you're just lost out here and you just don't stop and say, you know what, I need to reset all this shit because nothing is getting me to where I need to go. Now you're starting to affect everything around you, and you make rash decisions. You make a whole bunch of fucked up decisions. It fucks everything up with everybody, and then everybody else is stinking because you stinking. You didn't necessarily have to be that way. You didn't necessarily have to go that route, but you did. It did, and I'm dealing with that in certain facets of my life to the point where I can't allow certain things to affect. Like, I'm not going to allow anything to affect the long-term process and progress of my grandchildren. I have no problem with that. I stayed quiet. I stayed way too quiet with my daughters. You know, I allowed too many people to infiltrate into my daughter's life, whether it was relationships that I had, whether it was just random motherfuckers that I had, you know, whether not really talking and being as vocal as I should have been with their mothers, because I should have been that. You know, then I got caught up in them several years of going to church and all that shit, and that kind of dumbed me down. I ain't gonna lie, you know, trying to be a devout church member really kind of fucked me up in that parent game because I was doing shit that normally wasn't about me. That wasn't really Shannon. And I did shit against Shannon's, uh, you know, it's not, I was a bitch. You know, I was a bitch on some shit. And my daughters didn't even know me like that. I bet you there was some times that they was like, who is this motherfucker? Like, I had really been diligent with a lot of things. And then it got to a point I was like, okay, whatever. Because I had lost my fight. But I didn't know, too, I not only lost my fight, I was losing my will because I was in pain, constant pain. You know, you start hitting that 450, 470, 480, topped out over 500. That's what they weighed me at 503. When my body got there, when my body got so fucking big, I was just in pain constantly. So some days I didn't feel like doing anything. I just didn't do it. You know, I just didn't do it. And that affected the way I parented. when I was in certain relationships, that affected the way I had relationships and the way I parented. And then that allowed those individuals to take my shit over because I wasn't in play, man. I really wasn't in play. So you got to be in play. And if you're not in play, then you hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. You can't be there. You need to be you need to be on top of your shit at 100%. Even if you're not all the way out. I'm never saying that you're gonna be perfect. Because we talk about parenting and we talk about relationships, ain't shit gonna be perfect. It can be right, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And where it's not right, a lot of times, where it's not right is when you bow out and you don't do the shit that you're supposed to do. That's a problem. Getting caught up is a fucked up situation. It's a real fucked up situation. Getting caught up and not keeping your eye on the prize. And I had every excuse in the world that I could have made, and I never tried to make any. I never missed games. I never missed concerts, recitals, and all that shit. You know, I always had to sit on the aisle, or I always had to find a separate seat. I always had to canvas areas that I would go to, find out where the fucking bathroom was, this, that, and the other. I had to do certain things that my daughters had no idea of. They had no. I was like a little kid. We'd go to away games and shit. And I was like a little kid. I would have to use the bathroom right before we left to the house because fuck, I couldn't get into a porta potty at that time. I was too fucking big, you know. So now when I look at shit like the measurements that I had to go through just to survive, that inhibited some of my parenting. And then you're in a relationship with someone who really doesn't understand your plight. So, and you don't, sometimes you don't articulate it to them out of embarrassment, whatever, you get fucked up. You get fucked up, man. So, but I appreciate the fact that when people understand what you're going through, I don't need the help. Like, I don't need you to help me do shit. Like, I don't need you to help me walk across the street. I just need you to not do detrimental shit in the process of us, having a relationship. And I had that a lot. I had people doing detrimental shit when we were in the midst of having, relationships and whatever, friendships, whatever. It was not a good scenario. I guess people back to doing their thing at Starbucks and coming in and studying, and sister has her whole laptop and book bag and all that shit. I mean, it's cool here. They got Wi-Fi here. They got food here. I guess that's why people stay here 3, 4 fucking hours. I get it. I have gone a long time without asking, but nobody has said anything for a while. The stream, I believe, is still doing well. Hopefully, the stream is still doing okay. But yeah, where we are now, I don't think any of us can afford to have people who are just underperforming in our circle. Bogs us down. And during these times, there's way too much to lose. I mean, I'm not going to get so deep right now, but you got to understand, we're embarking on food deserts. Food deserts are coming. Okay. You've already got people who don't want to work in the places where you go get fast food. Think about food processing, agriculture as a whole. All that shit is at the bottom. I mean, I walk into a grocery store middle of the day, and I don't generally go into a regular grocery store, but I'm talking about like wholesale places, and pallets and shit are just missing because food is not there. And some of these places that have processing plants, they're not getting the stuff to the wholesalers or even retailers because they don't have the staff to be there. I mean, they keep giving up this free fucking money. And as long as they're giving money to people to stay home and the wage is higher than what they were working when they were on the work spot, It is what it is. So I look at all the stuff. I mean, with jobs and food, the rental thing. I guess that's going to be ending soon, and people could be on the street, legally. I don't really know what's going to happen. I try not to get into that whole well, if they do this or they do that, because none of that shit is making sense right now. I said from the beginning that the money should have went to the businesses to keep them moving to the point where they could have paid everybody that they had on staff. They've given away trillions, and they could have gave that money to the people who registered. They already had on the slate. Gave those people the money. Why give it to the states to do unemployment benefits and this, that? You open the pipeline for all that scamming and that cheating and shit. So that's tomorrow. So tomorrow, everybody's shit. If you don't have your rent, your landlord can legally evict you. You gave a ton of money to people and they didn't go fucking pay their rent. They went and did all the frivolous shit. You know, people who could prove, hey, I got 10 tenants here in this space. I got 10 tenants, and 5 of them qualify for this thing here. You get all your paperwork. Make sure that person who owns that property is getting what they need to pay, and then that person has no pressure because they lost their job. Or if that person does still have their job, then they be obligated to pay a prorated amount. Because I mean, I understand if you're not working, you fucking can't pay your rent. You can't eat, can't do shit. You can't do none of that. But where they're at now, they don't they don't look at that. They give it to individuals. They're giving money to businesses that don't need the money. And now you've got states who've been giving away money. And from what I'm hearing, there's a surplus of billions. Who knows? Could be a trillion. I don't know. But there's a surplus of billions that states were supposed to give away, and they didn't give the money away. Why? Because people were getting the money in so many other ways. That's why with all this jab and shit that they talk about, hopefully they don't flag that word. They flag any word that has to do with that, with the arm medicine. So hopefully, you see these $100. If you get it done, you get $100. That's not just in New York anymore. That's actually going to be other states that jump on it. That's going to be other states that jump on this shit. Hey, it's a little bit late for that now, Shell. But for the people who never stopped working, they should have definitely gotten extra benefits. Just like people who, didn't stop working, and you had public transportation and you had all kinds of shit that shut down for sometimes, made it more difficult to get to work and had to take Ubers and different things like that. Those people got with the Uber company, got with the Lyft company. Those people, they should have been giving away free rides to people if you're going to work. And don't let a motherfucker Uber to the sports bar, but I'm talking about going to work. They should have been free rides from a residence to a place and go to work. Okay? Should have been free. And those companies should have been compensated for those rides. It don't cost that fucking much, just to keep the world moving. But some of the shit that I think it makes too much sense. But I just don't believe putting the money into people's hands who have absolutely no financial literacy at all every month is going to do anything. And it's putting a band-aid on a bullet wound because, yeah, now they're making more money than they were making when they were working. They're never fucking going to go back to work until you force them to. Until you force them to. So, I get all that. I get all that. She's setting up shop. She's about to be in there for a minute. She got a stand and laptop, and she got all that shit. And I probably could have stayed on longer, but I think I need to be getting out of here soon because I didn't have my shit all the way charged up. Hadn't really planned on being out here that long. I just knew I needed to be outside. I needed to feel the breeze. I needed to feel some sunshine. I needed some energy. You deal with an underperforming motherfucker early in the morning, boy, you need some energy. Maybe I'm gonna start doing that. Maybe I'm just gonna start sitting outside a little bit in the morning and captivate some energy. I got a spot and I can just put my chair out and, you know, and just sit outside just 30 minutes by myself. I think I might start having to do that, you know, just because I think I need that from time to time. Appreciate you, Free. Make sure we put that link in there about uh, the YouTube channel too. We on Haps, and I respect Haps. I don't know how much longer we gonna be fucking with YouTube the way they talking about what they doing and shit. You know, they talking about YouTube doing some greasy shit, and I really don't know exactly how in depth that is, because personally, uh personally, I'm gonna try to put it in the comment myself. Tell me if that comes through on y'all side. Tell me if that comes every Friday. On every Friday, you said what's every Friday, Sister June? See, it didn't come through. Yeah, because I had the other link up. I was trying to put the YouTube link in the chat. It didn't do it. It took it. Every Friday I sit outside with my husband when weather permits. You gotta get the vitamin D. How you doing today? You gotta get the vitamin D. If you don't, I mean, you can take a tablet, but it's not the same. You can drink some milk, but it's not the same. You need natural sunlight. You need the vitamin D, you know. And if you don't get that, your body is lacking. It's not like you can replenish it any other way. We are meant to be out in the sunlight and to get that nutrition from the sunlight. Yeah, for some reason I can't get. You can put all that stuff in there free because you're a mod, so it doesn't allow me to just put it in there. It doesn't allow. I don't think Haps allows people to randomly put anything in there. So the copy of the YouTube link of the Friedman link, Friedman is Friedman Media 1874. That's what it needs to be. How you doing? But yeah, you need that. You need that energy. If you don't have that energy, I get it, but you're lacking. You're imbalanced. You're totally imbalanced. You know. Um, I personally always loved being out in the sun when I played summer sports, just playing. I don't know how these kids do it. I don't know how these kids live indoors now the way they do. And looking at a rectangular device and calling that life. I don't get that. You know. I love when my grandson gets dirty. I love when he presents and he's dirty and he looks like he's had just an awesome day. I love when he gets dirty. I love when Kai, she puts her hands in dirt and she shows me her hands. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know. I wonder why it doesn't come through as a hyper, like the way the Freeman media does. Hopefully people can click on that. Hopefully they can click on that and see it. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna turn it down so I don't echo. I'm gonna see if I can see it. If I can see it, yeah, it's not coming through as a hyper. It just comes through. But that's what it is, Maybe they don't allow that. Maybe they've got something where they don't allow. They allow you to put it in there. They allowed it to paste in there, but they didn't allow it to come up as a hyperlink so people can click on it. I don't know. Maybe Haps and YouTube are beefing. I don't know. YouTube's getting other platforms out here. There was another platform somebody sent me to, but it doesn't sync in with any of these other ones. So that would be another device that I would have to use. That's why, like, when I'm in the studio, I'll get a device that I'll just use halves, and I'll get a device, you know, but I can't. There's no point in me adding another platform and then fragmenting everything. I'm trying to get everybody, under one umbrella, or at least doing it on the minimal end. I'm not trying to make minimal content, and I don't want meager content. I want to maximize all that shit. But for some reason, they're not allowing me to do that. So they'll check it out. They'll definitely check it out. We just got over an hour. I absolutely did not think I could sit here and talk for an hour and actually be comfortable doing so, or even that the signal was going to be strong enough. Well, she's got 2 devices, a phone. I wonder what she's doing. I'm kind of being nosy now. Actually being nosy. Just to see. Oh, and she got 3 devices up. She might be doing a pod. Or maybe she might be doing a pod. Oh, she's got a Bible and everything. She might be a preacher. She got a Bible. Hey, I get it. Online ministry is big right now. Online ministry is big. Huge. You ain't even got to see the people no more, and they can just give you money. Hit that Cash App, sister so-and-so. Hit that Cash App if the Lord moves you to. Yeah, we got to stay up on our shit. We got to keep underperforming people at a distance. I know we can't rid ourselves of underperforming people totally, because some people, they're just in our lives. They're just embedded in our lives. So we keep them at a distance. We keep them having minimal control over our situations. And then we move forward amicably. Yeah, we can't give underperforming motherfuckers control over our life. They will destroy us. If they're underperforming and it's already affecting us, if we give them control, they will destroy us. That's it. That's the book of Shannon. So I'll let y'all in a minute. I need to figure out. Oh, you know what? I think I got a slice. I want something good to eat today, but I don't know. But nothing sounds good to me ever anymore. Nothing. It's gotten to that point. Food is just fucking food. It's a cavity filler. Especially if I don't make it. It's like, whatever. But yeah, I had to clean this table off and shit. It was nasty. I had to clean this table off, keep my shit with me. Y'all know how I do. Keep my shit with me. Had to clean it off, wipe it down. And one of them little badass kids was out here, and he was doing shit with his drink and smearing it all over. And they don't come out periodically. See, the pandemic is over. Y'all got to understand, the pandemic is over. They're back to normal. They're back to not cleaning up tables and shit, wiping stuff down. So if you don't sanitize on a regular basis, you're fucked up out here. Because they haven't cleaned any of these tables since I've been out here. And I've been looking at the other side, and they haven't been cleaning up any of that side either. So everything's back to normal, where people are dirty, they're not sanitizing, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and that's unfortunate. But I'm on point. If you see me with this and I'm outside, I got this. Don't think I'm slipping in this bitch. And I got a mask and all that stuff, but I'm not really in direct contact with anybody. Well, I want to show y'all something too. Maybe y'all can fuck with this if I show it to you. Well, that's one thing. I don't want those. I want the other one. So I want this. Where is that? Hold on. Then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of y'all way. This is a part of my PSA, I guess. It's part of my PSA and my message. There we go. So check this out. So there were stores during the pandemic, like in the heart of it, and this is just what rejuvenate right here. So if you go to Home Depot, at the counter, a lot of times when you check out, you should see these. These are free. Now some of them try to be slick and sell them, but you see, there's no price. There's no price. Here you go. See that? Can you see that? You see that X? They put that X over the barcode because they're not supposed to be selling these things. This is just from me to you. Okay, so for the 10 motherfuckers that's gonna see this, this is my ism for you. Fuck the rest of the message today if you didn't really understand it, but this is the message. If you see hand sanitizers with X's through them like that, and they're at the counters or like on end caps, they're free. Ask the cashier, and they should be giving these to you when you make purchases. Now, don't be running up in stores and shit and trying to grab free hand sanitizer. I'm not telling anybody to do that. If you're there at that store to trade at that store, buy your shit, and then if you see a hand sanitizer, and please, I know none of my people will probably do this, but please don't go in there with no Sharpie and start marking off the goddamn hand sanitizers and shit and trying to get them for free, because everyone ain't free. But these are free. Home Depot, maybe some similar places. I don't go to many other places. Like I don't really fuck with Lowe's a lot and Menards and all that. I don't know why I'm giving these motherfuckers free advertising, but I am. But I'm telling them that I don't go there, so I guess it's not real free advertising. It is what it is. But also remember, August 1st, I'm putting that right up there. So y'all gonna be able to pause your screen. You pause your screen and you scan that, I guarantee you, it's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up. August 1st, that's the date. That's Sunday. Okay? Sunday. First date. Washtenaw County. They ain't Washtenaw. Well, they all over the rest of Michigan, but Washtenaw County, they're coming to Washtenaw County. So make sure that y'all ready for Cargo 420, cargo420.com. Get on the website. So, you can do your thing. And you got to go from there. But I'm just about just pretty much out of everything. I drank like 2/3 of my cup. So that must have been a good session. It must have been a good session. So, backing this up. But yeah, they back to normal, some of these spots. So y'all got to be careful. Put that one in there. I mean, not sanitizing, not cleaning behind customers and things like that. It really doesn't affect me unless I got to deal with it. I mean, if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. I'm not going to tell anybody to do it. And they're so overwhelmed inside because now that people are coming back inside, getting their coffee, they're back to being rude, back to bullying the baristas and shit like that. I hate that shit. I mean, we're talking about fucking coffee, okay? We're talking about beans that are filtered through water. And you get some of these people out here that act like if their coffee is fucked up, the world is going to end. Now, I know if my coffee is fucked up, it's probably going to have a bad day because that means it had milk in it. Can't really fuck up my coffee any other way except putting milk in it. I don't really care about the other shit. Yeah, it's not sweet enough. Yeah, it doesn't have this. Yeah, it doesn't have that. I get it. But other than that, you really can't fuck my cup up. Just don't put any milk in it. You want to be a dickhead. So she's pregnant, got one on her chest, one in the cart. They did their thing like really, really bam, bam, bam. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's good. Getting it all over with. Probably they're gonna be probably like 3, 2, and 1 type shit. No. No, I don't want to buy. No. See, all this shit is turned into, you get on, they want to sell you something. Every time, but you can't even get to your timeline on shit. They want to sell you something. Nah, motherfucker. I don't want that shit. I didn't get on this to buy something. If I went on to buy, I would have went to Google first. I hate that shit. That's why we got to get our own platforms. All these platforms, they're going to turn into just catalogs and shit, They're gonna want you to do your shopping and this and that and everything all through the platform. And frankly, I don't need to have a motherfucker know when I go buy a sink or when I go buy this and when I go buy that. It should pop right up in your timeline because your phone number is connected to it, because your email address is connected to it. Everybody don't need to know what the fuck I'm doing out here. It's like I don't need to know what anybody else is doing. You know, we got to have our own platforms. If we don't have our own platforms, we're dead. We're dead out here. Because YouTube has basically said if you say anything remotely what they consider controversial, and and it's really this critical race theory bullshit. You know, I mean, critical race theory in real American history is all it is. I mean, just tell the history the way it is. You know, I don't want to hear about that was a difficult period in America. No, slavery was not a difficult period in America. It was the most influential, the most detrimental, and the most profitable period in America for racist white people. Actually, for all white people and many other ethnicities. The only persons that slavery did not benefit, we know, right? I ain't gonna say it. I told you we wasn't gonna go that deep on this video. We don't need to. I'm sitting right. I'm sitting right by the right by the truck, so I'm just starting it up so it can be a little cooler when I get in there. Yeah, Sister Shannon just posted that. I gotta talk about that stinking ass bitch. Amanda Seals. You know, I really was actually kind of over Amanda Seals. I thought she was trying to come back to the good side. I thought Amanda was trying. The Bluetooth picked up in the car. Y'all stop hearing me for a minute? How long did you stop hearing me for? The Bluetooth picked up in the car. That's what it was. My fault. Sure did. You said you can't hear me, and I'm looking. The mic is on. The Bluetooth. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So Amanda Seals has got a problem with Will Smith playing Richard Williams in the movie because she don't think the movie should be about Richard Williams. So they probably should have got some, you know, marginal actor to play Richard Williams and then got two ridiculous. Who are you going to get to play Venus and Serena anyway, really? I think it's more about their upbringing. So they got some kids doing it. So I don't know if they got some child tennis players or if they just taught them how to play tennis and they work the camera angles and make them look great or whatever. I don't know. But it isn't even about tennis from what I heard. I don't know. It's more about his disciplining them to become the two greatest tennis players of all time. You know, bringing them up. That's what the movie is supposedly about, from what I know. It's not just about any fucking tennis team or tennis tandem or whatever. It's about a daddy taking control of his daughter's lives and putting them in the best position to be the best. And that's what he did. She got a problem with that. That the movie's about him? Fuck what you heard. Joe Jackson should have a movie about him. I know we've seen The American Dream, and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs played a great Joe Jackson in that movie. I love Lawrence Hilton Jacobs in that movie. You know, all these years he's been Freddie Boom Boom Washington to me, but he was Joe Jackson. He played the shit out of the Joe Jackson role. But I would love to see a Joe Jackson movie and what he went through to raise, what do they have, 10, 9, 10 kids? To become the first family of music, the royal family of music. See, behind every great motherfucking group is a daddy. No disrespect to all the mothers out here, but do you think Katherine Jackson could have had all them babies and Joe went off and left and married somebody else and the Jackson Fives would have came out, and then the Jacksons would have came out, and then Janet Jackson would have came out, and then we would have had the all-time great recording artist Rebe Jackson, LaToya Jackson? Oh man, would we have gotten that Playboy centerfold from LaToya if Joe Jackson hadn't been around? Come on now. See, people don't like to give credit where credit is due. Without Joe Jackson, there is no Michael Jackson. Not just physically, I'm talking about ever. Supposedly, Prince had a tumultuous relationship, and I know we look at a lot of that shit from Purple Rain, but I guess he had a tumultuous relationship with his father. You know, so I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I never really dug into the real shit. I just like the Purple Rain version. I thought Clarence Williams III played a hell of a Prince's daddy. How real it was, I don't know. But do you think? And I know that his daddy was a musician. So do you think that Prince would have been Prince without his daddy? All due respect to Prince's mom. All due respect to Mama Nelson. But do you think Prince would have been Prince without his daddy? See, that's what people need to understand. That foundation comes from that strong man. Sometimes it ain't daddy. Sometimes it's another man in the family, but that balance is there. I know women have to do all the jobs in some of these relationships, some of these upbringings. I get it. But the true balance comes when that father is in that child's life and that mother can do what that mother is meant to do, what she was brought around to do. Because if God said, you know, I'm gonna put you in a space and I'm gonna allow you to have a kid, because that's what God does. He allows you to have children. You don't just have a kid because you just have a kid. That's a blessing when you have a child. And if God gives you the ability to have a child, God damn it, the least you can do, the very fucking least you can do is take care of that child with everything you got. Because there's so many women out here who can't have children. There's so many women out here who can't have children, that they can't be blessed that way. And here you can take for granted what God gave you and then fuck it up. I have literally no respect for anybody that does that. Don't bring a child into this earth, into this world, if you're not 100% fully committed to taking care of it. Because if you're not, let somebody else take care of the child. Let somebody else take care of it. Let somebody else do the job that you're incapable of doing, that you're underperforming at. See? That's how this underperforming shit kept coming up, kept coming up, kept coming up. Your results are bad because your performance is bad, because your preparation is bad, and because you're bad. That's what it is. Because if you do all that shit and you don't get the results you need, you're supposed to switch it around. And when you don't switch it around, then maybe you go have another kid. Then maybe you go have another kid and you fuck all of them up. That's child abuse. That's actually child abuse. When you have one child, don't treat them right, then go have another child. That's child abuse. But nobody says it. They'll say child neglect. No, that's child abuse. You weren't taking care of the first one. Now you're going to bring a second one in there. Now you got to split duties. Or you're going to bring a third one in. Now you got to triple up the fucking duties. You weren't doing the duties for one. So why would you keep having kids? You should be done after one. You should have been done after none. You should have been fixed. For your 18th birthday, you should have had your tubes tied. If you don't really want to be a father out here, have a vasectomy. Have that be your 18th birthday gift. If you don't really want to be a man, shit. That's crazy to me. Why do you want to have children if you're not going to take care of them? If it's just about having sex, go have sex. Just don't impregnate nobody. If it's just about having sex, cock your legs up and, hey, if it's going to hit a wall, let it bounce off, and then you go on about your business. Hopefully you wash up and take care of yourself, but chances are you probably don't. Y'all be good out here. Just remember, if you don't know, you don't get the results you need. You're not underperforming, you're ignorant, so you need to get the knowledge. But if you do know, you know what you're supposed to do, and you refuse to do it, you refuse to be accountable, you are now underperforming. And you're not just underperforming for you, you're performing for everybody around you. And you're fucking up badly. One love.